What's up, guys? You're watching To All the Crowd Rooms, a YouTube channel to help provide you insights to the DIY music scene. If you want to help support our free content, you could do so by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Hit that notification bell. You get the episode alert as soon as the episode's posted. And on top of that, we got a Patreon channel filled with lots of exclusive content that you can only get with a subscription. With that out of the way, today we have Julian, otherwise known as the Cozy Representative.
What is up, dude?
What's up, man? So, for the viewers listening, Julian is basically a scene kid historian. He has lots of knowledge on scene culture from the early 2000s leading into mid 2000s, I'd say. Julian, correct?
I would say you're correct, yeah.
Yeah, and your videos are awesome. They're all, I was saying to you earlier, like 5 hours long a piece. Not really, but, you know. They're
basically, yeah.
Very in-depth. You have, like, series where it's just, like, part 1, part 2, part 3. And you try to fit in as much information because a lot of these bands, they're not like exactly what you'd call mainstream, so that, like, you know, they don't have the VH1 documentaries on, like,
totally, yeah.
So
right.
You've become that guy to be like, hey, remember that band? Here's the history of them.
Right
yeah,
on.
You really are that guy.
Word.
Like, 100%.
Yeah, I feel like I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like, I feel like the bands that I talk about, let's say, like, Never Shout Never, for example, that's, like, an artist that, like, everybody knows who that is, but no one besides, like, the super fans of that have, like, taken the time to really, you know, dissect the career and, like, you know, try and figure out the, like, the meaning behind it and sort of that, yeah, that like VH1 behind the music type, you know, retelling of the story. So it's like, I feel like I try to pick these artists that are like just niche enough to where they're not mainstream, but not niche enough to where, like, you know, people know who it is, but it's
right.
not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, dude, it's awesome just like going through your videos, because I have to say that I'm definitely that guy that goes, I discovered the person before they blew up kind of person. And
hell yeah, totally.
When I discovered you, I first was looking up. One day I was at work and I was like, what the fuck happened to Brian Stars? And literally I typed that in,
yeah.
Found your channel when you were at 1,000 subscribers.
Oh,
and
wow, okay, yeah.
I think the video had like 14,000 views on it, and I was just like, this is fucking awesome. Subscribe. And then I went back, watched the old videos, and then, yeah, it wasn't until recently that, like, what video was it that, like, really took off for you?
It was probably the Blood on the Dance Floor one that I put up like a month or two ago. Yeah, that was kind of like, because that was kind of like a hot topic at the time, I guess, because everything, you know, with Chris Hansen and the fucking Davi Vanity guy, and I wasn't, like, sure if I wanted to make a video about that at the time, because I was just like, I don't know if I have anything, like, new to add to this conversation, because it was more just about his, like, sexual assault allegations and whatnot, and I'm just like, man, this, like, sucks. But I don't know, I was talking to, like, a friend of mine, and someone was like, yo, you should do a video about, like, the history of that band, like, not necessarily about, like, the you know, sexual assault stuff or whatever, but, like, just, you know, because there's a lot of people who are kind of interested in you know, like, watching his Chris Hansen stuff, and we're getting into that just on YouTube, who didn't, maybe weren't necessarily, like, a scene kid back in the day, or didn't know Blood on the Dance Floor. So I was like, oh, I can make a video, like, you know, for anyone wondering what Blood on the Dance Floor was, like, here's what it was. And yeah, and then that video, like, got a lot of attention, and then some other videos got a lot of attention, and it was all, like, really quickly within, like, a few weeks, and I was like, holy shit.
So
and
cool.
Now I'm just kind of rolling with it, you know?
Oh yeah.
When it originally blew up, did you feel pressure that you needed to keep going? Or, okay, now I need to start actually putting thought and more content to keep it rolling?
Kind of. I mean, I feel like I'm still kind of there. Like, I'm kind of like, woo, I don't really know, like, I'm figuring out how to move forward. Like, I feel like you know, the success of the Blood on the Dance Floor video, I feel like that was still just so recent that, like, I guess yes is the answer to the question. Like, I don't know. I think, I don't know. It's kind of hard to, like, yes, but what I've kind of realized is I think I just need to keep doing what I've been doing. Because
100%.
It's been, you know...
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, yeah. But I definitely, like, as soon as things were, like, I was getting a lot more viewers and whatnot, I was like, oh, holy shit, like, this many people have never, like, listened to me talk about shit ever. So I guess that has been, like, kind of daunting, that there's, like, I guess really the more nerve-wracking thing has been, like, I don't want to make a shitty video now. Like, it's more pressure to, like... to do a really good job, because I don't want, like, I recognize how cool it is that a bunch of people are, you know, paying attention to it, and I don't, like, take that for granted, and I don't want to, like, let anybody down, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy? I went through some of your comments in some of your videos, and some people are like, I never even heard of this artist, but, like, the way you tell the story, like, your storytelling's so good that, like, I sat through all 3 parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think
I've seen those too. It's crazy.
Yeah. And, like, for me, for instance, like, I don't know who, I mean, I never followed Never Shout Never or Cute Is What We Aim For, which the Cute Is What We Aim For video is fucking awesome. I didn't know any of that stuff about the lead singer, but...
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so for the viewers listening, like, it's just, if you're at work, you need content to consume, this is what I watch while I'm at work, is the Crazy Representative.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, thank y'all. That's fucking awesome. I appreciate it.
For sure. And, I always been curious, where does the name Cozy Representative come from?
Okay, so it's kind of a funny story. It has, like, nothing to do with anything relating to my YouTube channel at all. It was originally just my Instagram handle, like my name on Instagram, like, years ago, and it was actually something that Wiz Khalifa said in an interview, that of all things, because he was talking about I guess he was like, I was just watching this random Wiz Khalifa interview, I don't know why, and he was like, I guess he was starting to go to the gym a lot, and he was talking about how he's like, yeah, I'm in the gym all the time, so, like, you're just gonna see me in my sweats and my gym clothes all the time from now on, and I'm just gonna be the Cozy Representative, I guess. And I just thought it sounded really cool, and I made it my Instagram name, and, like, I was originally gonna name it, like, a song or something, like, I wanted to use it in some way, and then, I eventually just named it my YouTube, because at first my YouTube was actually just my first and last name when I, like, first started, and then I was kind of like, I want, like, a cool name to go by, so I was just like, the Cozy Representative, that's kind of my Instagram name, so yeah.
Yeah, and now we're here.
Wiz Khalifa. Yeah.
It reminds me of, like, a MySpace name too, like or like an identity.
So now I'm gonna show my age. I swear to God, as soon as he was like, I had nothing to do with my YouTube, I was like, it was his AIM name. Sure. I was like,
I wish.
I was like, that's exactly where that came from.
I should start saying that it was now, because that's a really cool story.
That's such
like,
a scene kid thing to say. That was my AIM name.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Do you guys remember y'all's AIM names at all?
Mine was like real stupid. Mine was my AOL, which was like Jess Steelers 1, because I like the Steelers.
Nice.
I forget mine. I think it's just like Mikey Lentz or something like that.
My favorite one ever was this girl I went to school with back in, like, the 2nd grade, and don't ask me why, because we used to, like, keep in touch in the summer, and her name was X Baby Cakes with a ZX. Don't ask me why don't ask me why I remember that, but
I feel you.
But
I remember shit like that too, like, weirdly enough. Like, I definitely get that. That's funny, though.
Yeah, because I was like, every time it would pop up, I'm like, great fucking name.
Yeah, very of the time, for sure.
All right, so kind of like giving the back history of bands and talking about where people have went. Like I said, the Brian Star is one of the one we were just watching before you came on, which is the Escape the Fate one. How did you start your YouTube channel? Is this kind of what you were like, oh, I'm just going to do like the history of bands when you started this? Or did it kind of like evolve into that? Like, oh, this will be a cool topic, and then just snowballed?
That it kind of started as that, yeah, from the get-go. Like, I guess, I don't know. When I started it, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of it's an interesting question, because I think it was just a combination of like boredom and I already was like a super huge nerd about like these like scene bands from like the mid to late 2000s. Like for some reason that was just like what I've always been really into. Like, for, you know what I mean? Like some people are into like, oh, the like 1976 like Steelers like or lineup or whatever.
Yeah.
Like some people are just nerds about like really specific things. Like I've always just been really into that, and like would just, you know, I'm always on Wikipedia. Like I've always been really interested in, I guess, the like career trajectory of bands. Like this album, and then they lost the bass player, and then they got on this tour, and then this album happened, like et cetera, et cetera. Like I've always thought that was really cool, specifically with that era of things. And I guess when I started my channel, like it was like, I think I was like unemployed for a bit, and I was like wicked bored, and I was also like I got really inspired by like Finn McKenty's videos, the punk rock MBA, and also Nate the Mate. I don't know if you know that dude.
Yeah, his videos are good too. He's
yes.
kind of similar to what you do too.
Yes, yeah. We're kind of homies now, which is pretty cool. We like DM a lot, which is sick. But those two guys I was like really inspired by, and I would watch their videos and I'd be like, I feel like I could make like my own version of like what these dudes are doing. And then I kind of just like tried it, because I was just like, why the fuck not? And it kind of just like, I don't know, I didn't really go into it thinking that I was like, I'm gonna become a YouTuber. Like that wasn't really, I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna do a video for fun, and maybe that'll be the only time I ever do it. You know what I mean? Like, and then it just kind of, it got a good response like from the get-go, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna keep.
Was that the Chiodos one?
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. And I feel like if you watch that video, it's like weirdly, I mean, I think I've gotten more comfortable on camera and shit, but if you watch, like, how I made that video is like really not that much different from like how I still make them. So it's, I don't know, I think that's kind of like interesting. Like,
so I have a question for you. And so do you personally like play music? Do you play an instrument, or were you in bands and stuff?
Yes, I actually before I did this, I played drums in bands for like a bunch of years. Are you a drummer?
I'm a drummer, yeah.
Hell yeah, right on. Yeah, I played drums in like a bunch of bands. That was like my dream when I was like a teenager, was to, you know, be in a band and tour and all that. And I was like working towards that, like playing in bands and shit. And then I don't know, right when I was about like 21, I guess, I kind of had some like lifestyle changes, I guess, in my personal life, and then I kind of no longer wanted to tour in a band, I guess, for various reasons. And then I guess that's kind of where like the YouTube stuff started as well, is just kind of changing my life course. But yes, I am a musician, and I have played in bands and play instruments.
Yeah,
and
it's
shit.
because of something he said. It's because of something you just said when you were talking about, I was watching the Wikipedia, like I was looking up on stuff on Wikipedia, and it was really interesting that you were like, the band's trajectory on like how they got for somewhere, because that's something that like as a young musician, like when I was in high school, that's something like I studied. I was like, I want to know how they got where they got, kind of like so I can follow the blueprint.
Yep.
And to try to see some of like similarities, like 4 of these bands went on tour, played this venue particularly, and got picked up a year later, or
exactly.
You know, stuff like that. I was like, okay, so that's something that's actually kind of cool, and it you kind of see that in like how you deliver your videos on like, okay, we're gonna cover everything, even stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that.
Totally. Yeah, right. No, it's true. I definitely think, yeah, like when I was in middle school or whatever, I basically like, I wanted to be in the next all-time low and shit. That was like what I wanted to do. So I would just like, I'd be like, yo, okay, All Time Low fucking did this. They did like an EP and then they signed to a label and then like this and that happened. Like, so I need to make that. I feel like that is a, you know, when you're young and you want to be in a band and you want to be a musician, it's definitely, you know, the sort of thing where you kind of go, you look into it maybe a little deeper than other like kids who are into music do. Cause you want to know about like the industry and you want to know about how getting popular works and shows and labels and all that shit, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Question for you. How long does it take typically to make one of your videos? Because I know there's a lot of prep work going into the video. It's not just like you just ranting off cuff into a camera the whole time. Like there's actual preparation that goes beforehand. Yeah,
100%. I feel like I'm getting quicker and more efficient at it. The first ones, like, it used to take me honestly like about a month, and lately it's been closer to 2 weeks or so, but that's if I'm like really grinding and I'm not like depressed or procrastinating or whatever, you know what I mean? Like if I'm really on the ball, it's been like about 2 weeks or so.
Where's like your go-tos for your information? Because like I know I was trying to make a video similar to how you make your videos.
Yeah, which I still think you should do, by the way. You gotta get on that, man. I want to see it.
Maybe.
No pressure,
dude. No, because I understand how much work it goes into making it and then like actually putting it out, and that.
Yeah.
What are your sources?
Yeah.
Where do you find it?
Like, do you use
fake
like
news?
The Wayback Machine like stuff to check out old MySpace archives and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. The Wayback Machine. I look at well, I guess definitely interviews just on YouTube. I watch like a shit ton of interviews. Luckily for most of the bands I cover, like I've already been a huge fan for years, so I've already like seen most of their interviews, so I'll just kind of go back and be like, oh, I remember this, but I'll rewatch them. Wikipedia, the Wayback Machine 100% is very important for like dates and shit and figuring out when exactly things happen, like tours and whatnot, because I'll go on like a band's old MySpace page or old Pure Volume page on the Wayback Machine and you know, just look up really like specific shit, because you can kind of, I guess when I'm like mapping a video out, I kind of pretend that I'm literally like following the band as they're going. So I'll kind of like, I'll be like, okay, we're in like fall of 2007 right now. Like what was their MySpace page looking like then? And I'll kind of just, I guess, piece it together like that, you know? So it's definitely, yeah, Wayback Machine and a lot of interviews, and I guess just having prior knowledge about the band personally helps a lot too, for sure.
Yeah, because you could definitely tell like the videos come easy to you because you're passionate about the bands to begin with. So, you know, watching the videos and stuff and then having your own personal opinion because you like the music and stuff definitely adds to like the charm to the video, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Word, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, because that's also another thing too, is like, I can also, most the bands I talk about, I was actually a fan like 10 years ago at the time. So I can also be like, yo, I remember like how I felt about this album at the time, but I also remember like how the fan base felt. But that also like is kind of a thing where like there's some bands that I just like can't do for that reason. Like sometimes like someone will be like, oh, like you should do a video about like Yellow Card, and I'm like, yo, I've like never fucking listened to Yellow Card in my life. Like I can't like do one because I'd have to like get into them and tried, like, it wouldn't work because I'm, you know, I know Ocean Avenue, but that's it. I don't have much to work with.
It would come off inauthentic.
So one cool thing that he did in his Never Shout Never series, which Julian, I want you to explain to Jesse, is like he's always been a big fan, but then he made a side video which was for the side project Eat Me While I'm Hot, and he had an exclusive limited edition CD. Yo, do you want to tell him?
Yeah, I mean, it's a CD, so they changed their name to Mr. Owl for like a month, and literally like a month, and they made 1,000 CDs as their name is Mr. Owl, and I bought it like at the time, like 12 years ago or whatever, and I still have it. Is there something else that I did in the video, or is
that's
that
amazing?
No, I'm just saying though, like that's why your videos work. It's because like
right.
do you have the side projects limited physical copy? Like
The
Right.
one thing that like going like 100% talking about this is that you come off like very authentic. And that's kind of what you just got across, that, okay, well, I don't want to do a yellow card, even though that would probably get me clicks. Like, I don't want to do it because I don't fuck with yellow card. And that's the one thing, because when you were talking about, you looked up to, like, Finn. I've watched Finn for years. And the one thing that I've noticed is, especially when he's talking about, like, bands and, like, genres and stuff, he's very, like, I guess, man, he goes right where his name is, as like punk rock MBA, which is like very, it sounds like he's reading from a textbook or he's in a lecture hall.
Yeah,
it's like facts. Okay, this happened. And when I was watching yours, and you were talking about, I'll bring up the Escape the Fate one because that's your newest one. You were talking about the guitarist, and in This War Is Ours, the solo he has in the beginning. Is that's This War Is Ours?
Yeah,
that's the song.
I think
This War Is Ours, or is that the Guillotine too?
I think I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. And I remember hearing that, thinking almost the same thing you did. You were like, "Oh my god!" Like I remember, like he really stepped it up, that one, because that was like coming from like a big old hiatus. Like, this sounds so different. And it's funny because you were also saying like, oh yeah, it has a little bit of chugs and a little bit of metalcore to keep those kids happy. And I was like, yo, he's so right, because I even think about music that way. I'm like, oh, this is just to pay homage to the old fans. It's like, hey, shut up. Like,
right.
I have something for you too. Let me go over here.
Right. You can't say this album isn't heavy because we have this part on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cozy, what do you think? How's the feedback been for your videos? Like, do you get a lot of positive? Do you get some haters? What's the deal?
It's very surprisingly, like, overwhelmingly positive. I would say it's like 90% very positive, and then 10% of, like, the funniest troll comments that you'll, like, ever read. But as, like, if you look in the comment section of my videos, like, one thing, and like my like girlfriend pointed this out to me because it's like, it's so like funny how frequent it is, but one thing I find is like people leave like paragraphs and paragraphs of like comments on my videos. Some people leave like fucking novels in the comment section, talking about just like all types of shit, like talking about their relationship to the band that I'm talking about back in the day, or like, I don't know, like just, I think it's because like, you know, I feel like my videos seem to tap into people's deep nostalgic.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that
something in there, and I feel like you
have a craving for nostalgia, and the Cozy representative delivers.
There's two powerful things that controls humans' behavior, and it's fear and nostalgia.
Yes.
So like you are tapping in 100% to the nostalgic, like that thing, especially for kids like my age. I don't know how old are you?
I am 23.
Yo, same. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Right on.
Okay, awesome. So you
Dope.
are getting
23 gang.
Yeah, you old
How old
man.
are you?
I'm 28.
Oh,
should be 30.
I'm just kidding. I'm
See you
just
guys.
kidding.
Yeah, so
20,
like,
28 is dope. I'm like stoked to get older. Weirdly enough, I'm like stoked to be 30. As
Let's
weird as
move
it is.
past this subject. Come on, guys.
Word, yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, the power of nostalgia really, especially for, I think, kids our age, because we have what we're seeing is like emo night. And right after that emo phase came the neon scene phase, where like Bring the Horizon took over and Ask Alexandria came out, and I've always been saying like this is the next thing that people are gonna get nostalgic about is the that scene phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I saw in one of your videos, Cozy, was how you were just like shit talking about how like when you were a kid and crunkcore was at its height, or however you want to describe it.
Yeah.
People made fun of you for loving it. It's almost like you had to hide in the closet to your crunkcore. And
I'm
nowadays,
not a fan, but the kids will like it.
Nowadays, we got like a bunch of these new SoundCloud emo rappers, whatever you want to call them, and they're basically just not copying, but like they're they're very influenced by a lot of like the aesthetic or even the sound of the music. Like they're taking elements of like the screamo, the party vibes and stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
they're wearing eyeliner and skinny jeans and fucking neon hoodies and shit. I'm like, y'all, like, there's like rappers in skinny jeans, eyeliner, and like Asking Alexandria shirts, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is like, exactly, this is like what I was wearing 10 years ago but got bullied for, but now it's like kind of mainstream and also like just very like widely accepted, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's interesting.
How do you
it's cool.
how do you feel about it? Like, what are your actual thoughts on that style becoming mainstream?
Honestly, I think it's really cool. I don't have any problem with it. I don't really care for like a lot of the, I guess, the artists' music. Like I like a lot of the like sort of emo rap. There's like a few that I really dig, but most of it, it's like one of those things where I'm only 23, but I might be a little too old for a lot of it, like type shit. Like I think maybe if I was 14 now, a lot of it would be dope. But that's a whole other thing. Like the wave itself, though, I have a lot of respect for it. I think is really cool. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is like the evolution of, the shit that I grew up on, and it's cool to to see that like this shit that means so much to me, and obviously that I've found through making my videos means a lot to a lot of other people. It's like living on, and like there's like literally still scene kids on like TikTok that are like in fucking high school, and you know what I mean, and they're like being scene kids. I'm like, holy shit, because if you remember, I feel like around like 2014, 2015, like this shit like was not cool at all for like a few years. Like there was kind of there was the prime of it in like the late 2000s or whatever when we were all kids, and then kind of everyone got older, and there was this point where like everyone was like in college, and people were like, people were kind of embarrassed about their like scene phase or whatever, and people were like, we need to listen to like cool music or whatever, and then like once it, like within the last few years, it's suddenly like cool to like all that scene shit again.
It's the pendulum, man. The pendulum
yeah,
swings.
and every wave goes through that. You know?
I posted this on Facebook like 6-7 months ago. Everyone's talking about like the scene phase, and I'm like, does anyone no one talks about the phase where everyone was apparently H&M models?
Yes, I love that.
Where like everyone,
bands
all the
specifically.
metalcore bands. For me, it started with the Devil Wears Prada. Just started wearing like overalls and slicked hair, and then all of a sudden,
all the dudes got pompadour haircuts,
bro.
I mean, well, it looks dope on you.
Oh, thanks.
I'm no shade, but everyone got that though. Like,
no,
you know what I'm saying?
That's why I cut my hair. No bullshit. That's why I did it. I'll never forget it. I was like, wow, okay, so like this is where this is going. Okay,
Yeah,
and then
right.
I remember that whole phase. It was like that 2013 to 16 era, and
Yes.
yo,
Yeah.
Yeah, things got darker rather than the neon monster tees. 'cause
Yeah,
they
it like
disappeared.
it wasn't cool to admit that you were like emo. It was like, oh no, I've been listening to like the Smiths since I was like in middle school.
since
bro.
I was in
like,
the womb.
yeah, I've been listening to like Scrams since I was like born, bro.
I feel like
and
the
then,
scene now has
yeah.
been like super hardcore based.
Yeah.
Like besides being like the bringing back, like I feel like Hate 5-6 is bringing like the heavier like. Do you watch the
Yeah.
Hate 5-6 videos?
I do, yeah. Yeah. I'm not really super into hardcore very much, but I do watch those live videos because they're like just entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense though, because if we look at music industry, there's always patterns and it's always circular. It's always like,
Yeah.
okay, well, the next of X is coming, and right now I think we're running the same line of when punk was like starting to get huge, like hardcore punk, or like the beginning of metalcore, which was like Zayo and like
Yeah.
stuff like that, like Unearth type things. So I think we're seeing
Totally.
that in the hardcore scene, where they're just classifying it as hardcore, but it's just like beat down, and they're kind of pushing that new metal sound into it. So it's like a punk new metal just hybrid.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're hitting the nail on the head with
Yeah.
that.
Yo, check this out. Okay, you want to hear my like hot take?
Yes.
So, okay, you know that band, you know that
Send it.
Yeah, okay. So you know that band Vane, right?
Yeah.
Vane. Okay, check this out. If Vane made a new album, and that like this year, and the album was Suicide Season by Bring Me the Horizon, note for note, vocals, like everything, just if Vane put out that album this year, like everyone would, all the like real hardcore kids would be like, yo, this is like the definition of real hardcore, this is like the heaviest shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yup.
But those
Wow.
same kids are like, yo, fuck Bring Me the Horizon, that's like some like weak shit. But I'm like, y'all are only saying that because they had like girl haircuts and skinny jeans and shit. If it was like the music and like, I think that says more about how an image of a band like dictates their fucking influence and shit. But I'm just like, I listen to a lot of these newer like sort of the beat down revival bands or whatever, and I'm like, this is just like Suicide Silence, but like with a different outfit on. You know what I mean? Why is that music like less legitimate to the fans of this? I don't know.
Because that's how it goes.
Jesse,
It is,
hit him
yeah.
with it. I know you have some feelings about this.
Oh.
Give me your feelings. Let me know. Maybe I'm. Tell me.
No,
Give me all your thoughts.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% with you.
Word.
Like, yo, I'll even throw my own shit in there. My band, right now, we're actually going through a rebrand. Yeah, fuck it. We're talking about rebranding and stuff. We wear makeup, like dead ass. Like we wear
Word.
fucking the eyeshadow and shit, and we are 100% emo. Like that
Hell
is
yeah.
where we want to go. And it's funny because like I'm still friends with all the hardcore kids, and we've had segments with Freeze, which is a local hardcore band in Philly, where we talk about that.
They're juggalos, though.
Yeah, but we also talk about the hardcore scene. Like, it's kind of intimidating sometimes that, like, because especially this hardcore scene now is like, oh, who's got the Yeezys and who's got the Adidas snapback and who's got this. But it's funny because back then, when we're talking about like 2008, it was who's got plugs. You know, it's like
Yeah,
who's got the
right,
biggest plugs.
right.
What Osiris's you got?
Oh my
You know what I'm
God.
saying? Like,
Real shit.
you know, like
That's funny.
even before that, it was like, oh, you shop at Hot Topic? Okay, what trip pants you got? Do everyone remember trip pants? Yeah, bro. When I was in grade school, I brought the girl trip pants because those are the only ones that'll fit me.
Yeah,
Damn right. I did that
yo,
shit.
Do you remember when they didn't make skinny
Whatever it
jeans
was,
for
yes.
guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Like
It was
when you had when you
PacSun girl jeans.
yeah,
was
you
the
had to
move.
go to PacSun. You had to go to the girl section because they didn't make men's skinny jeans. It was
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
that was a thing.
But like we
Everyone-
will
yeah.
always see it. We will always see the fashion correlate with music. Just when we see it and with what is going to be different. And I guarantee there's going to be a band that's going to come out and it's going to either bring back the long hair, they're going to bring back the monster tees, which we're starting to see come back. You want to know what I'm
100%.
starting to see come back?
What?
Lyric tees.
Oh,
like on the back?
The block letter lyric
Yes.
tees,
Yeah,
the real big
yep.
ones Ask Alexandria had. This is Karma's a bitch that I had.
Yo, I got that.
The big block. You know who I saw it? You know who I saw had it?
Who?
Kanashi.
They would. Who was it, Peter?
No, Kanashi has
they
one.
they
have
yeah.
one in that exact font. And the guy that made they have a monster tee too. Monster tees are coming back. The guy who makes them is like starting to have a resurgence and starting to like pump out
Yeah.
shit again.
Yo, that's actually perfect. Not to be fucking whatever. I gotta support my homie. Ride or Die Clothing out of he's in LA. My dude Frankie. He's my homie. Quick shout out to him. He's like my boy. He makes
shirt is
like
sick.
this is his clothing line. Ride or Die. He's like trying to bring back the whole cartoon monster merch type shit, and he's like a really fucking awesome dude, and he's my homie, and everyone listening to this should go support that shit.
Yes, absolutely. For the crowd listening, if you're in a
Yes.
band and you're looking for some merch to be made, hit
Yes.
up Cozy's boy. What's the plug for it?
Ride or Die Clothing. I think it might be, I don't know what his, let me look up the exact handle on Instagram.
Okay,
Not to-
we'll plug it in the
we'll
description.
We'll plug it, yeah.
in the description.
Not to just be like t-shirt plug, but it's like my boy, and he's the man.
Nice.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have one more question for you before we get into the fun questions.
Word.
What can we expect for the future of the Cozy Representative channel?
Ooh, well, you can expect more videos. I am working on a video about the rise and fall of Jonny Craig right
Fuck
now,
yes.
which I am very excited about because he's crazy. Well, first of all, I was a huge fan of his in high school. Like, I was so, like, Dance Gavin Dance were like, they're still like one of my favorite bands, and in high school, like, anything that Jonny Craig touched, I was like a big fan of. So I'm really excited to talk about some of his old, like, Emarosa and his old music and stuff. But also, like, the dude is literally, he's not a good guy. Like, he's like a piece of shit, and he's like insane. Like, and in this video, like, I'm talking about like all the shit. Like, I feel like there's shit that people don't even like know about that dude. You know what I mean? Like, people know about the MacBook shit and like that he's like hard drugs and all that, but like there's like so many scandals that he's been involved with, so it's gonna be like, I don't know, pretty like heavy and crazy, but also like, I don't know, I'm
now
having
stoked for this.
I'm having
this
fun
is gonna
putting
be
it together.
It's gonna be a juicy one.
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing a lot of like of those like sketchy characters recently. Like the Escape the Fate one was pretty crazy, and then like Blow on the Dance Floor, and then this one. After this one, I'm gonna be doing a series about that band The Maine, which they're very, very good boys. So that's gonna be kind of
Nice.
a break from the craziness, and I'm excited about that too. Those are the only plans I have for right now, but I also and I talked to you about this, I'm going to be putting up a Patreon soon, and there's going to be like a whole lot of if you're into what I do, or into like me at all, I guess, like, it's going to be, I'm going to make it cheap, and it's going to be like a bunch of more shit, but I'm
already
really
in.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm already in this.
Yeah, the
Thank
Tat Car House will subscribe.
We're 100%
Yes,
subscribing.
yes, thank you. Yeah, so that's going to be
This is what I want to see.
dope. Yeah, that's going to be probably sometime in the next like month or so. I remember when I talked to you about scheduling this, I was like, "Yo, I'm going to have my Patreon set up by then," and I haven't done it yet. But I'm working on it. I don't want to, I want to make sure it's like all fucking good before I launch that shit. But yeah,
You're doing deep dives into these super long videos, so you got.
It takes time.
It takes time.
thank
It's coming.
you. So I don't think some people realize the amount of work that goes into these videos sometimes. So I appreciate y'all recognizing that.
For sure. I was saying that to you, like, because people, they could pay $5 for a Hulu account, $10 for a Netflix account. Like, why would they want to pay, like, To All the Crowded Rooms to subscribe to our channel to only access, like, 7-10-minute long videos? You know what I mean? Like, eventually we'll have enough content for you to, like, sign up for a month or however long you want to subscribe for.
Especially right now with the whole pandemic and shit, everyone's out of work. Like, that's another thing I'm like, fuck, man, like, who's, like, I don't have, like, money to spend on, like, Patreons right now, like, you know what I mean? So, like, you know, you definitely want to make it worthwhile for people, but, you know, I feel like, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm very excited for the new videos that you're about to put out. But to get on to the next bit of the interview, I'm going to ask you some fun scene questions. All right, Cozy.
Yes.
Favorite long song title name?
Oh, fuck.
What?
Such a good one. I want to answer these.
You can answer it?
Fuck yeah, I'm going to answer them with him.
Mine's Wacko Jacko Steals Elephant Man's Bones by The Fall of Troy.
Hell yeah.
That's way longer than the one I picked.
Or like a little less 16 Candles, a little more Touch Me.
I'm zeroing in on either From Under the Cork Tree or the first Panic album. I'm trying to pick one of those right now. It's definitely one of those. Go ahead.
Reese's Pieces. I don't know who John Cleese is.
Mine is Dogs Can Grow Beards Everywhere.
Who's that by?
The Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada?
Sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I think the kings of having names that have nothing to do with the fucking song.
Attack. Every song name.
What happens when I can't check my MySpace when I get there?
That's a great one.
Dude, I've never been openly seen before. I'm loving this. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm glad to usher you into openly seen worlds right now. That's dope.
Babe, I'm about to grow my hair back.
I'm gonna say I support that. You should. I'm gonna say it's either gonna be I slept with somebody in Fall Out Boy and all I got was a stupid song written about me by Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Or what I'm pretty sure might be just out of sheer word count, might be like the longest song title from that era, but the Panic at the Disco one, there's a reason these tables are numbered, honey, you just haven't figured it out yet.
Wow.
That one,
That's a
that
good
one's
one.
like, I think that out of just that might be one of the just longer ones in general. So I think it's funny how like ignorant they got as like with like just the longest fucking song titles ever. But yeah, for me it's either of those two. Probably the Fall Out Boy one.
So my roommate James, he's like the producer of the podcast and like the graphic designer and stuff. And when he was doing graphic design for my band, there was like on a graphic designer standpoint, like all of our song names were like super small, so like, you know, you could arrange the artwork with the text pretty easily, but we had one song name that was like 8 words long. He's like, what the fuck, why'd you name this song so fucking long? It screws up the whole design.
Oh, that's funny. That's
like,
funny.
Damn.
What was the title?
Did I leave everybody or did everybody leave me?
Ooh,
Such an emo
I like that.
kid.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was going for like a Real Friends vibe on that one.
Nice. I feel like that isn't even like
depressed.
that long compared to like a lot of the fucking Fall Out Boy ones and shit.
Yeah.
Too. You know what I mean?
Like Lying is the best.
Yeah, lying is the most fun a girl can have without
with her clothes on, right?
Yeah, or without taking her clothes off, without taking off her
One
clothes.
of those. Without
See,
getting
that's
naked.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what makes like this era so special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't even say the song titles. Like, I've probably looked at that song title millions of times because I've listened to that album so much, but like, I still can't even like say it. You know what I mean?
We need to move on to the question because we're gonna be stuck here all day. But my other one is tell Slater not to wash his dick. Or I read about Girls Like You on the back of toilet doors by Bring the Horizon.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck yeah.
I'm changing my answer. That's the one.
Yes.
Amazing.
All
All right, next one. Favorite crunkcore band and album?
Yo, okay. I think that... Ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that.
I'm about to judge you so hard if you don't say the one correct answer.
my answer might piss like everybody off.
There's one
Because
correct answer.
I don't think mine is the correct answer. Should I say it? Should I
Of
be
course you
honest?
could. Yes, be
Okay.
honest.
My honest favorite crunkcore band, and this is definitely not even like close to the best one, but it's Curve by far. Do y'all know Curve? Do y'all
Yeah.
remember them?
No. So
Yes.
I saw you talking about
Yeah.
Curve, but I actually never checked the band out before.
They're like just dollar store Broken Side. Like if Broken Side was like the Costco Broken Side, and they're like the lead singer of the band is like laughably untalented, and it's like just some of like the most, I don't know. I think that's why I love it, is because it's so just, it could have only existed in that time. You know what I mean? Like the lyrics are just like I am at the mall and I'm a fucking freak. I've got my hair straightened and it's dyed and kids are calling me a freak. And I'm just like, it's like, oh,
Amazing.
Yeah.
it's like incredible. Yeah, because it's almost like the fact that it's like Broken Side, but just even
Worse.
Worse.
And no one could think that you get worse than Broken
So-
Side.
yeah,
When-
but yeah, yep. So Curve, yeah.
When
for me.
I was listening to Birkenside, yes, I was listening to Birkenside. I always thought Curve was their side project. That they just released
Yeah.
demos that they just that didn't get it on because you're right. It is
Yeah.
the Walmart brand of
Exactly.
Birkenside.
Yeah, yep. That's funny. Yeah. Album though, I actually want to. I think I'm gonna say, one of the Millionaires EPs. I gotta give some love to the Millionaires because they're probably, they like should be my favorite because they were actually like dope and actually.
They were sick.
Yeah,
still sick.
they're not even like I like genuinely like respect them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their music's good.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
and they were like kind of ahead of the curve on a lot of the shit they were doing, because I feel like if you listen to like Kesha or like Cray Sean, like a lot of that shit is like I'm like, this is kind of biting like what the Millionaires was doing, you
Yeah.
know?
For
Facts.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yo, so have you ever watched the show Bad Girls Club?
I've never watched it, but I know what it is.
So fun fact, and you're gonna end up looking this up as soon as
Yeah.
we're done this interview, but there's the show Bad Girls Club, and it is the most like trash of the, like, if you think Jersey Shore is a trash cast, like these people are 10 times worse. The fights are 10 times worse and stuff.
Wow.
Both the girls from the Millionaires were on the show, and there's just so much drama, and it's the most entertaining season I've ever seen.
I need to look that up. You know,
gonna
I have
rewatch it.
I've heard about that, but I've never seen it before. I definitely need to watch it.
Check it out.
That's funny. Yeah. That's hilarious. I've definitely heard that it's like insane, you know, like one of the
So entertaining.
trashiest. Yeah. I need to check that out for sure. Is it on Hulu, do you know?
No,
Or-
it's not.
Damn.
watch it.
I think you just got to go on some shady website and.
Just
I'll
YouTube
find
videos.
it. I'll find it. Yeah.
Would you consider Hollywood Undead crunkcore? Because I'm a big fan.
I wouldn't.
No. Well, number 5. It teeters.
That's a good question, man. I think that they are kind of like, I would compare them in similar to 303.
Yes.
Where I don't think that they are. I think that they have elements of crunkcore, but I don't think that they are straight up crunkcore in the way that Broken Side is.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's my answer. Yeah,
Good
but there's
answer.
there's hints of it in there.
Everyone was wondering, so I just thought I'd ask you.
Is that true?
Yeah. Everyone.
The world needed to
The
know.
world needed to know. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
clip.
So they
Yeah.
teeter. They got
Hollywood
elements.
Undead is not crunkcore, but could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not accepted in that table.
Yeah, they're not. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not straight up crunkcore.
Right.
I think there's a better word that I'm trying to think of, but I can't think of it right now.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not authentic. Well, they're. Yeah. Well, we'll just move on.
Okay. Fair enough. Favorite power pop band and album?
Ooh. power pop, do you mean like All Time Low kind of shit?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the Academy is, Q is what we aim for, all that vibes.
You know, I'm gonna say, well, Fall Out Boy are like my favorite band of all time, but I don't know if they're really like if you want to go even deeper, because they're kind of on that mainstream level. Like, honestly, I grew up listening, like, loving so much of that shit that it's hard to pick, like, one favorite. But I guess I'll say for, like, favorite album that's really, very core, like, neon pop punk type shit is the first Forever the Sickest Kids album,
Fuck
Underdog
yeah.
Alma Mater. I'm gonna say that's, like, I'm gonna say that album is an album that is very overlooked, because a lot of people just, like, fucking, people hear the band name Forever the Sickest Kids, or they look at their pictures, they're all goofy, and people, like, judge that band by, like, their aesthetics and shit. But if you listen to that album and you, like, take away the band name and what they looked like, it's actually genuinely really fucking good. And, like, there's a lot of shit on there that, like, I'm like, yo, this could be, like, The Story so far or something. Like, this could be, like, one of those, like, more respected bands or whatever. I just feel like that album is a lot more influential and like just genuinely fucking good than people give it credit for. So I'm gonna give it up for Forever the Sickest Kids on that question.
We went for not a popular one, but
Yeah, that's why I had to give it up for him.
Shout out the underdogs.
All right.
Yes. I'm loving this. This is awesome. I'm having a lot of fun.
Man! I told you we're gonna save the fun questions for last. Favorite year of Warped Tour?
Oh shit. That I personally attended?
Yes.
That would have to be... It's a toss-up between... So the first year I ever went was 2008.
Same.
Nice. So it's either that one, because that one was insane. I saw Say Anything, Cobra Starship. The craziest thing about that day that I remember, and this is very, like, so of the time... you probably... Well, oh, no, you didn't go to the Massachusetts one.
Nah, Camden, New Jersey.
Word. So, at the Boston date, the Academy is played at the same time as Katy Perry. And and I chose to see the Academy is instead. And looking back, I just think that in itself
went for
is...
Katy Perry.
I should have, dude. Looking back, because I saw the Academy is so many times back in the day. I would have, Katy Perry. But at the time, you had no idea that she was going to become...
Yeah.
Dude, that would have been so epic to be at Warped Tour, not knowing who Katy Perry is, and
they're playing at the same time as the Academy is. Like, that's
Right?
fucking insane.
I wonder what stage it was. Imagine if it was like Ernie Ball or some shit.
Yeah, right?
That shit would have been legendary.
Yeah, it was either 2008 or 2011.
That was mine.
And that year was dope because I went with like the first few years I literally went with like my dad, because I was hella young and I didn't really have like friends really. Like, I had friends at school, but I didn't have friends that were like into Warped Tour shit, so I'd like go with my dad, which was like I thanked him recently. I was like, yo, thank you for taking me to that shit, Dad. Like, that's fucking awesome of you. But 2011 was the first year that I
low-key, I'm like picturing like you with your dad, like going like, hey Dad, look, this is the band Broken Side I really like. And
dude, that
like,
literally,
what the fuck am I looking at?
That literally, like, shit like that, like, happened. Like, that was it. But 2011 was the first year that I made, like, friends my own age who were also, like, scene kids, and we went and, like, mobbed out, and, like, there was, like, girls that I had crushes on and shit, and, like, that type of shit, so...
I preteen.
Yeah, it was very, like, preteen, like... I think I was 14 that year, so it was very, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. And, like, I saw Attack. I saw Drugs played. It was dope.
That was my first year. So, funny you said that. This isn't...
Of Mice and Men?
This is an actual, like, real thing. My mom has been to more Warped Tours than I have.
Wow.
So
However-
my whole family, when they found out that like I started getting into like heavier music, they all checked it out, and we already had like a rock background. They just adapted it like as their own. So
No
my
shit.
mom, the first Warped Tour we ever went to was 2011, and it was
Yeah.
at Camden, and it was me, two of my friends, and my mom, and we were in line getting ready, or we were in there like getting ready to see the first band, which was Attack Attack.
Yes.
Everyone
yes.
just pushed to get like closer to the stage, and my mom
Yeah.
almost like passed out from like having like the air
Oh,
sucked
no.
out of her.
Yeah.
But since then, I missed one year for work, and she went. With my brother, went, and then sent me pictures of her meeting bands that I wanted to see.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's so
2011
funny.
is
That's
still
hilarious.
my favorite. by the
Real
way.
quick before we
Yeah.
get to the next one, but I have to share mine. 2000, I think it was 2009. Or maybe it was 2008. It was one of my first Warped Tour experiences, but I snuck in a bunch of joints into. I almost said doinks. Smoking big
Yeah.
doinks.
Big doinks.
And as I went to the stage where Set Your Goals was playing, because at the time I was just like, Set Your Goals is one of my favorite bands. I gotta see these guys. But right beforehand, I was like, I want to smoke a joint, so let's get there a little early. Swayze
Yeah.
starts playing, and I didn't know who they were, and I was just like, yo, they're singing songs about weed and high as shit right now. This is awesome.
Hell yeah.
And then right after Set Your Goals played, Census Fail played, who at the time they were my favorite
Ooh.
band, and I was just
Ooh,
like,
that's dope.
the 1, 2, 3 like awesome bands, and
That's dope. Yo,
Yeah.
funny story going off that. When I started smoking weed, like the first year that I started smoking weed, I think I was like 15. That year I went to Warped Tour, and same thing. I like snuck a bunch of joints in and shit. I was like, dude, we're gonna get fucking faded, man. And I like me and my friends like we smoked like as soon as we got in on like the lawn, and I got like way too high and had like the worst day ever because it was hot, there's like a million people, I'm like too stoned,
Dude.
I was like I like couldn't like talk, and I was like I don't want to be like watching like Newfound Glory right now. I want to be like somewhere cool without all these fucking people.
The
And I
Trojan
never yeah, and I never did it again. I never smoked weed at Warped Tour
Dude,
ever again.
Warped
so I was
Tour
like, this
is
fucking
not
sucks.
a place to be high or drunk at.
1000%.
It's a place to be
No.
enjoying music and to be hydrated at.
Hydrated
Yeah.
like a motherfucker.
Oh.
Oh my.
Yeah, you need to drink water and like rest.
The last year I went to Warped Tour was the last like tour. I was actually 21, so I could legally buy a beer at Warped Tour, and
Yeah.
I was like, "How the fuck are you buying beer
It's
here?"
like, fuck that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm under the sprinklers, like.
yeah, yeah. How the fuck are you like doing that to your body in this? Like, I'm not trying to. I feel like I would drink like a beer and a half and then just
die.
like pass out.
I
Yeah,
almost did pass out. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
My God.
that's why I don't get how those like the bands do it. Like the bands who party on that shit. It's like you're not even like. We're talking about it from the like
viewer,
going to it point
yeah.
of view, but if you're like you have to be there fucking every fucking day, like, and you know some of
Maybe-
those bands
they're
getting,
in a cooled bus
Oh,
90% of
yeah.
the day. They have
Yeah,
catering.
true.
They have tour water, which I want to know how
Yeah.
to fucking get.
The Monster Tour
Monster
water.
Tour water. So I played Warped Tour 1 year and I had it, and my
Oh, did
friend
you?
stole my fucking can and cracked it on stage, and that was the only one I had, and I couldn't get another one.
No.
Oh, I'm so
Oh.
mad.
that sucks.
I wanted to keep it for like memorabilia, but like he did that.
Right.
Okay, so what is your favorite clean vocalist and what is your favorite screamer? Who? Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna
Good
have to think about it. Ooh. Okay. Because there's a lot of. Are we talking like sheer skill or like
Just your favorite.
persona?
Just your
My favorite. Because coming to mind, I mean, we already established she's like a horrible piece of shit, but I mean, Johnny Craig's clean vocals are insane.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was I'm gonna say him for clean vocals. I don't endorse him as a person. I want to make very clear.
I endorse his vocal cord noises.
I endorse his vocal cords. I think that the Dance Gavin Dance albums and Emarosa albums he was on, and his solo album from back in the day, were like, I just like loved that shit so much in high school. And I think like he was out of sheer raw talent alone, he was definitely like probably the best from that wave. And screamer. Shit. I mean, I want to say, fuck, because I'm trying to think of like, because I keep thinking of one, then like another one more will come to my mind. You know, Craig Owens is coming to my mind. I really like his screams, but I feel like a lot of people don't really often view him as like a great screamer though, but I've always liked him. I mean another guy who's not so great, but Austin Carlisle used to rip it up.
Yeah. Definitely.
Shit. Who's your favorite screamer? I want to know. I'm having trouble picking one, honestly.
So my answers both of them. Buddy Nielsen, but his screams past like the first couple albums, like because if you listen to like Let It Unfold You, it seems like he didn't really know how to scream, and then later albums like I'm drawing a blank what they're called, but it seems like he really got a lot better, especially because they went through a weird era where they were kind of like hardcore, I want to say, and it was mostly screaming.
Yo, okay, fuck everything I just said. I know who it is, and it's okay, not to be all like Dance Gavin Dance, because I just said Johnny Craig, but John Mess currently. I don't know if either of y'all like him like in their Tillian era, like all the stuff he's done on their recent albums, he is amazing. A fucking beast. And you know, he's an anomaly because I feel like most screamers, as the years go on, they get worse and they kind of lose their voice after a while typically, but John Mess has been getting like stronger and stronger as the years go on, so I'm gonna say him as my favorite screamer.
All right, last question. Dream supergroup lineup. So you could use your favorite vocalist on this band. First of all, what are we naming your supergroup band?
What am I naming it?
Chungus.
Big Chungus.
Big Chungus.
Big Chungus. Maybe like the Great Neon Guitar Battle in the Sky. That's gonna be the name. And okay, check this out. Ready? We're gonna go with Patrick Stump on lead vocals. Maybe he's my favorite vocalist actually. For the last question.
Yeah.
Patrick Stump on vocals. Maybe we'll go with the drummer of Taking Back Sunday on the drums, because he rips it up. He hits hard.
Cool.
You know who I'd add? Maybe Ryan Ross, who used the original guitar player from Panic at the Disco.
Fuck yeah.
We gotta add some like screamo metalcore motherfuckers.
I would love to see a little Panic and Fall Out Boy in the same band.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Johnny Frank from Attack Attack on
oh my god.
on guitar and like backup vocals.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so we got two guitars. We got Ryan Ross, Johnny Frank, drummer from Taking Back Sunday, and Patrick Stump. For bass, I would throw in the bass player of All Time Low.
I knew you were gonna say that because you gave him a shout out in your video.
You know what's fucking funny? On that video, his uncle commented on that video and was like, yo, like, this video's dope, thanks for the shout out to Zach, like, this is Zach's like uncle, like, sending you love. And I was like, holy shit, that was funny.
Oh, that's
and
hilarious.
I'm gonna add the synth player from Motion City Soundtrack.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So starting backwards, drums will probably be Adam Gray from Texas in July. He is my favorite drummer ever. He could play literally anything. Bass, honest to God, Pete Wentz.
Word. I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Not that he's the only bassist that I know, but I'm like, he is an actually really good bassist. For 2 guitars, I already said Jackie Vincent would probably be a sick lead guitar.
Yeah.
This is going to be really funny and weird, but probably rhythm would be Dan from one of the old guitarists to Chelsea Grin.
Word.
And then we'll do the dual vocal thing, or which happened to be my favorite, would be Phil Bozeman of Whitechapel for Dirty Screams, and then singer would be Tyler Carter. But what was me, Tyler Carter, not Issues, Tyler Carter.
Yo, okay. Jumping back a few questions on the favorite clean vocalist thing, I forgot Anthony Green exists.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, he's up there for me too.
Yo,
he's
funny
insane.
story about Anthony Green.
Yeah.
So I got his cameo for my girlfriend for her birthday last weekend, and I was pretty let down.
Really?
I'll plug the video in this video.
What happened? What was the gist of it?
So first of all,
how much was it? First of all,
$53.
Ooh, that's kind of that's a little steep.
It came in 2 days late. He was holding a guitar the whole time. Doesn't play a note. I gave him notes for things about my girlfriend that could be a talking piece. He only mentioned like 2 out of like the 5 things.
Oh my god.
And then like I'd say 70% of the video, he was just filming his son twirling a water gun around his finger 29 times for her birthday. And I was just like, what the fuck was that?
Yo, what's up, Stephanie? This is Anthony, and
Jay.
And we wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Congratulations on opening your own salon. Crimson and Clover is an awesome name. I love that. I don't know why your friends call you Spaghetti, but I think that's pretty cool. That's her nickname, Spaghetti.
How old is she turning?
She is turning 29.
I will do 29 spins.
Okay, 2.
2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Keep going. 10. This is taking a long time, James. Oh! You gotta start all over. No, I'm just kidding. You don't.
13,
Keep going.
14,
You're almost there.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
22.
23.
This is better than a birthday
24,
song.
25, 26,
29 spins on a water
27,
gun.
28, 29.
There it is. Happy birthday. Woo! Don't squirt me.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Green seems like a great guy, but like
He does, yeah.
his cameo sucked. I do not.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's good at cameo.
No.
You know? But he does seem like a chill dude.
Chill dude, amazing
he seems
singer.
awesome. Yeah, totally. He's a legend, dude. I'm pretty sure he's like the reason why scene vocalists sing so high pitch. Like he like started that shit, you know? Yeah. Which is like that's like if there's one common trademark for every scene vocalist, it's the high pitch thing. So the fact that he basically started that is like that's a big deal, you know?
For sure. Cozy, thanks for coming on and answering questions about the channel and doing some fun questions for us.
Of course. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, anything you'd like to plug away?
I'm gonna say, one more time for my boy Frankie from out in California, Ride or Die Clothing. Is there anyone else I wanna plug? I'm gonna plug my girlfriend. Her name is JoJo. She's the shit. And in a few weeks, I will have a Patreon up, and follow my Instagram for updates on that, because that is gonna be hopefully the shit.
Nice.
I love it.
Thanks for watching, guys. We're To All the Crowd Rooms. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You get the alert as soon as the episodes are posted. And thanks for watching, guys.
Boom.